What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Legion of Raw Labor Day here in the United States. And I'm with the guy right there with the guns to pay the funds, ladies and gentlemen. He is the former WWE head writer, Vince. Vince
Hey.
Russo.
What is going on, Doctor? What is it?
Man, it is another day in paradise, man, to talk about Raw. And
Bro,
what are your
big Ohio State win. Big win, bro. Huge win getting off on the right foot. Huge win, bro.
Yes. You know, that was the highlight of my weekend, man. It was a really rough first half, a little bit boring, a little bit underwhelming, but late third quarter, early fourth quarter, we showed up. Defense was really good throughout the game. That was the one thing I was looking at the most, actually. Numbers two was our offense and how CJ Stroud and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who went out most of the game, unfortunately. But I was looking at the defense. That was something I was laser focused on because that's something we've been struggling with the past couple years. But that defense looked really good. Only gave Notre Dame 10 points, and man,
Yes.
looking good this year. I'm really excited. Next week we got Arkansas State, so it's a way to just kind of relax and get some kinks out, against Arkansas State. I mean, one of those cupcake games, so we can just work on some drills. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So yeah, man. Hey, look, I think that you should just go ahead. I know that over the past couple years we've been doing these shows, man. I've talked about my markdom of Ohio State football. Come on, Vince. Just join the crowd, become an
I got my jersey last year. Remember, I wore it.
I remember that.
I'll wear it next week for
All
you.
right,
I'll
cool,
wear it
cool.
next week.
So can I say that I converted you to be an
Yes.
Ohio State fan?
I
You were
got
an Ohio
no
State
problem. I
football.
have no problem with the state of
My
Ohio.
guy.
No
My
problem whatsoever. Yes.
My guy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your new Ohio State football fan, Vince Russo. Ladies and gentlemen, that popped me very, very much, man. That's awesome. As y'all know, I'm a huge Ohio State fan and a way bigger Ohio State fan than I'm a pro wrestling fan. Ohio State football is my stuff, man. I love me some Ohio State football. Ladies and gentlemen, Raw was in Kansas City, Missouri tonight. It saw the return of Big Braun Strowman, looking jacked to the max. What did you think of Raw tonight, Vince?
Definitely, they care more. There's
Okay.
definitely an improvement. There's definitely attempts at threading stuff throughout the show. But I still think I still think that there is listen, bro, I am a professional television viewer. I am a professional television writer. Okay. When I'm looking at a show, I'm looking at the writing of the show, I'm looking at the characters, and I want it all to make sense. And bro, you know what? I'm probably an exception to the rule because I would bet you the majority of the wrestling fans don't care. Okay. So they don't care. So the things that I care about, they would probably call nitpicking. But no, bro, when I watch a television show, I want a television show to make sense. And even though the effort is there, they are trying, there is definitely an improvement in the show, no doubt about it. There are still some things where I feel, I feel, I got to take this off Twitch. I feel a lack of writing is hurting them, bro. I really do. Let's talk about the beginning segment. I was with them, bro. This segment was okay. Edge calling out Dominik and Rey coming out and intercepting it, and Ed saying, "No, bro, he's a man. He stepped in, and now he's going to have to fight his own battles." Then Ripley comes out with Dominik. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with everything so far. Okay, then Rey leaves. Now, here's where it gets really clunky for me. I don't like when it gets clunky just so they can get their crap in. So Rey goes to the back. Bro, if this were all real, he's looking at a monitor, at the gorilla position to see what goes down. Okay, now the heels hit the ring from behind. Rey should have immediately come back out. What is Rey doing while the heels are getting heat on edge?
Yeah.
See, that's the stuff that I don't like. I don't like that stuff, guys. The problem is they want the heels to get heat on edge, and the only way they're going to do that is if Mysterio's in the back with his thumb up, as you know what. I don't like that stuff. So they get all the heat on edge. Then Mysterio comes out after the damage has been done. They get heat on Mysterio. Then they continue to lay out edge. I think it was good. I think this was good heat on Judgment Day. I think it was smart not to let Dominik talk. I think that was very, very smart. So overall, I will give this opening segment more of a positive than a negative, but the part with Rey leaving and Rey coming back and the timing of it and all that was very clunky for me.
Yeah, I think the segment left intrigue. I mean, I was intrigued by the segment. I watched it and I said, okay, see, I'm a story guy. I'm old school when it comes to wrestling. I like stories. And so this story is a bit intriguing. It's different, and I'm open to different because it's not just match for match sake. It's just not another variation of the Mysterios and Judgment Day in a match, which we end up seeing later in the night, which just kind of brought it down a bit for me. But the segment for this, I was intrigued because it led, the Raw, and I saw that. It's just Dominik just looks like a lost puppy to me. I mean, I'm glad that he didn't talk, but I wish that he would get his facials better. You know what I mean? Because now he's just looking like some, just some like lost puppy trying to be stoic, trying to be mean, and it's just not
Chris. I think this is another miscasting, man. We've talked about this in the past.
Yeah.
Bailey was more over with the hair and the gimmick and the blow up dolls than she's ever been as a heel. Dominik Mysterio looks like a baby face, bro. He has
Literally.
a baby face. He is a kid, bro. The miscasting to me is just incredible with that WWE roster.
I would be open, and we talked about this before as far as people to join the Judgment Day, and Lewis, I'm about to get to your super chat in a minute. But we talked about people who could be cast into Judgment Day. And I was open for Dominik when Edge was the leader, but there's no clear-cut leader now. So now it doesn't, like, for me, it was like, okay, someone who was in the shadows of his father, you could have played it that way. But now, since you don't have a leader to just kind of lead him away from it, and the Judgment Day is so 50-50, they're not a strong group. So it's not really a promotion. It's more of a lateral move, joining the Judgment Day. I really don't see advancement in this character. Now, again, I'm open to see what happens, next week and the week after, but to lead this in the same Raw to just a regular Priest versus Rey match with them losing, and I'll say, okay, now Edge, you're next. I don't know, man. We'll see where this goes, but if this segment is going to lead, if this angle is going to lead to just all eyes on Dominik, he's got a lot of work to do for me to be interested, at least.
Yeah, bro. And also, too, are they PG-14 yet? Did they change that rating yet?
No, still PG.
Because
PG.
I don't know. They're not making it clear. Like what's Rhea Ripley's control over Dominik? Like if it's sexual, bro, then make it sexual. I mean, if that's what if it's like a dominatrix type thing, then make it that. Because as I'm watching this, I don't understand how she has lured him. They have not explained that to us.
Yeah, I was waiting for that too. I was waiting for some type of explanation because there's still more questions than answers, and that's not always a bad thing if it's just episodic. That's not always a bad thing. But at the same time, there's a lot of loose ends that needs to be, addressed because Rhea's beating up Dominik with kendo sticks and then carrying him out and then beating him up and things like that. And she's trying, like, they're feuding, and all of a sudden he gets mad at Edge because Rey picked Edge to be a tag team partner, and they've tagged a bunch against the Judgment Day and had 50-50 matches. There's
Yeah,
just a lot of
bro.
loose ends, man.
Again, listen, bro. I saw the spot on the pay-per-view where Dominik like laid out Rey.
Mhm,
Bro, there wasn't enough buildup to get to that
mhm.
point. There absolutely was not. Bro, that's his dad. Come
Yeah,
on, man. In order for you to lay out your dad like that,
yeah,
that's got to be storytelling over time. There was nothing that was believable or warranted him laying out, Rey. And again, bro, I'm just always going to go back to the lack of storytelling.
yeah. I'm about nuance, man, and it's like it doesn't make sense for Dominic to get mad at Ray and Edge, and they won. You know what I mean? Like, if they would have lost, it would have made sense because you picked the wrong person.
Yeah.
But clearly, he didn't pick the wrong person because they won. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it just didn't make sense to me of why Dominic was mad that they won. Like, at the end of the day, he wants his dad to win the match, and the reason, we don't know why he got upset. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just didn't make sense to me. The nuance just wasn't there to me. Lewis with the $10 euro, bro, super chat. I believe Theory can manipulate a good-natured referee to help him with winners matches, which could make the odds higher to the champion. Use blackmail if a ref refuses to help. What do you guys think? What do you got, Vince?
Bro, I've got no interest in theory. I just have none. I've got zero, bro. I'm sorry, man. I've got this he is always he's a channel changer for me, bro. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing intriguing, bro. We'll get to his match later on, but I have some interesting things to say about it.
Mhm. Very, very interesting. Thanks, Lewis, for the super chat one more time, my man. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the Dominic and Rhea. We got to that. New Day versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Los Lotharios. This leads to Braun Strowman coming back. This was an odd booking to me. Like, Braun Strowman, he could have, to me, I think it would have been great if he would have interfered in the Theory segment,
Yeah.
because I really didn't care about Kevin Owens versus Theory. It would have been fine if he he could have even, led to, I'm the youngest Money in the Bank guy. Braun Strowman come out. That could have led to Strowman probably, cashing in, taking his, Money in the Bank case, and, him and Roman. It could have been something different than him just obliterating the tag team division. That just goes to show what Triple H thinks about the tag division.
Bro, horrible booking. You're gonna bring back a guy after so long, and he's gonna lay out tag teams that nobody cares about anymore. I talk about it again, Chris. Here's the broken record. You gotta set the table, and they could have created a moment for Braun to return with impact that would have blown the roof off the
Yeah.
place. This was not it. I could have cared less, bro, if he would have laid out 8 tag teams.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what does that mean, bro?
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. It was weird to me. It's like, okay, this is how you feel about the tag team division. You're trying to build up tag teams here, and you're having Braun just obliterate the whole division. For what? What's the point here? What's
There
the
is no
intrigue?
point,
What's the
bro.
buy-in? What's the
There,
storyline? It's
there
just,
is none. It's horrible writing. It's horrible booking. And bro, I want to back up. Ms. Ciampa.
the backstage thing they had.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to say about this.
Okay.
Again, bro, I swear to God, guys, you got to understand please, 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 please understand me. When I keep picking on the writing, guys, it's not because I want to be hired as a writer. I don't want to be. When I keep bringing up the writing, bro, it's because it's what I did. That's what I did. So this is what I'm seeing. Those are the eyes that I'm looking at this show through. So, bro, we've got Miz and Ciampa, and now we've got the second week of I don't want to talk about it. And I got to be honest with you, bro. It's there isn't enough. You said it last week, Chris. You used the phrase meat on the bone. There isn't enough meat on the bone for me to hang around and care why you don't want to talk about it. Okay, bro, you don't want to talk about it. I don't care about it. I'm not tuning in next week waiting with bated breath for Miz to talk about it.
Right.
But here was the horrible thing, bro. So a car is turned over. I don't know what that's supposed to signify. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But then, Chris, to make it worse, we come back and the announcers don't even put it over. The announcers are selling the cage. Yeah. So you've got a car turned over in the parking garage. I don't know what significance that is to anything. And then we go back to the announcers and they don't even mention it.
Yeah.
So, like, what was the point of that?
I wonder if that was a Braun thing. Like, if that was a Braun.
I don't know. Like, I have no idea, bro.
Yeah, it's. I've said this before on the show. It's not our responsibility to connect the dots.
Right, exactly. I mean, so Braun shows up and he's turning cars over for what? For what? Like, why?
I'm mad at the tag team division, bro.
That's what I mean, bro. It's like, and bro, all of this stuff is acceptable to your normal wrestling fan. It's just, it's not to me.
We got Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez defeating Nikki ASH and Doudrop, Vince. What do you got here, my man?
Just a throwaway. I mean, just a throwaway channel changer match, bro.
You know, and here's my thing, man. You know, they did give Nikki ASH and Doudrop an opportunity to, you know, have some shine on NXT for a second last week during the Worlds Collide pay-per-view that they did, or premium live event that they did, because as of last weekend, NXT UK is done. So they're doing the NXT Europe project. So Black Scorpion turned the car over. Very nice. Very nice, Chris. Very nice. Yes, indeed. It was Black Scorpion. Yes, indeed. So yeah, it's with the new, I hate to say stuff like this, but it just seems like Nikki and Doudrop are just like next in line when they do the sweep, you know, for the cuts, man. I hate to say that.
I do too, but they made them mean nothing.
Yeah, no, man. Oh, man. It just, I hate to say that because I hate for people to lose their jobs, but I just don't see anything going for them, man. They're just really like the glorified enhancement talent in the tag team division. There's nothing with them as a tag team, man. I don't see it. Next we have and what do you think about, before we move on, what do you think about Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez as a team?
Well, bro, again, you got to understand, I don't watch NXT. So for what they've shown me for 2 weeks, there's nothing special is sticking out to me as a viewer of this show that has seen this team for 2 weeks.
Oh, so some people are saying that they broke up and Nikki took her mask off. Oh, okay. Did you see that part?
Did we both miss that? What the, so okay, so like, really? I mean, okay, all right, like, okay.
So Nikki. So okay, so let's run with this then. If Nikki ASH took her mask off, that means the almost superhero gimmick is over with. So if it is, let's theorize some things about that, Vince. What do you think she should be, or what she should do?
She's gonna go back to being Alexa Bliss's best friend.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
that what that says it right there. What does she go to Nikki Cross though? Does it
Bro,
go back to
listen,
Nikki Cross?
can I say this with all due respect?
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying. Okay. Here's your problem. Nikki Cross is not a star.
Mm.
She's a body on this show. She's a wrestler on the roster. She has zero star power. She has had no star power from day one. I don't care how great a worker she is. If she's the nicest person backstage, that's great. That's tremendous. She has zero star power,
Why do you
bro.
think she's still there?
Somebody likes her. Somebody thinks she's a great worker. I told you, Road Dog. You Road Dog read on our show. He was telling us the Sky Sisters were great workers. Who
Yeah.
cares, bro? Like who? I don't care. Who cares, bro? And
Yeah.
I've heard that about Nikki Cross. What a great worker she is. She
Mhm.
seems like a sweetheart of a person. She doesn't have any star power, bro.
I think she had star power when she was Nikki Cross with the whole Sandy thing. When she was like Looney and Psycho. I think they made a really, really bad call when they broke up Sandy so quick. With oh gosh, Eric Young and Kane, Killian Dane, and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, she had like some aura to her that was exciting intriguing to see. And this whole ASH thing just threw it off for me completely, man. And so it's like it's hard because it's like, do you go back to the Nikki Cross? Is it damaged goods too much with her as a character to even if she goes back to Nikki Cross, it wouldn't even have that allure anymore? Unfortunately, I would feel that way if she goes back
Chris,
to Nikki Cross.
Chris, listen to me. Listen to me, Chris. I'm going to be the psychiatrist. You're going to be laying down on my couch.
Psychologist,
Can we be honest with each other?
of course.
I'm going to break it down to the simplest of wrestling terms.
Let's do it.
Is Nikki Cross going to sell one ticket?
In the UK, perhaps.
I even doubt that. But
You even doubt that?
he's not going to sell one ticket. Not one person is going to pay money to see Nikki Cross. And bro, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe she wasn't meant to be a huge wrestling star. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's do it. Let's theorize this. Let's do a thought experiment here. So if Nikki Cross was at a spot and you didn't follow NXT, but you
No,
saw a little bit on her, well, Sanity wasn't really a big thing on Raw, I don't think.
not at all. I don't even know what you're talking about. So
Yeah,
they
okay.
were
I thought they
never
were on
on Raw.
SmackDown.
They were
Okay.
never on
So
Raw.
you don't remember Eric Young's group at all?
I remember Eric Young's group with the two guys. There was no Nikki Cross.
So his
Which is
group
with the
was,
helicopter gimmick.
yeah, the Cross was a part of that. Yeah, so it was, yeah.
She was a part of that on TV.
Yeah. So it was Cross.
I don't know, Chris. I think it was three guys. I think it was three
I
dudes.
think Cross was with her. With them. It was Eric Young. It was Killian Dane. It was Alexander Wolf, and it was Nikki Cross. That was a part of it.
I
SK
don't.
Nation, fill
Yeah,
us in.
I don't remember her
I
being with
thought that
them
they
at
were
all, bro.
with. I thought that Cross was with them at that when Sandy came up. I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll see. She was with them in NXT. No, she was in NXT. Okay, so she wasn't. So she didn't
Yeah,
come
she
up.
was not. She wasn't. I knew she
Well,
wasn't.
one says it was the four of them. Sandy's on the main roster for like 3 weeks, so we're getting split here.
I don't think so, guys. I
mm,
don't. I would have remembered a female in the group.
people are saying yes. Nikki was with Sandy. Yeah, I know she was with NXT, but I don't remember the main roster. For
I
those who
don't
are
think
watching
so.
archive
I
too,
don't think so, guys.
refresh
But
it. Yeah, she was not. She was in the group, but not on main roster. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, I think that was a bad call. If she wasn't with them on the main roster, that was a bad call. And they were on there for a hiccup, anyways, because I mean, like it was weird. But I think that if she was there on the main roster, or if she was there with them more staying power, that would have been better for her because the whole like lackey for Alexa Bliss, I think she was miscast like from the jump on the main roster. It just didn't make sense to me. And then with the ASH thing, they made her Money in the Bank and won the title. Like it was just a lot of like trial and error with her. And it just really her gimmick just really start to fall flat really quick, man. So I just don't know if she'd be able to really recover at all, man. What do you think? Do you think she'd be able to recover at all?
If I was writing this show, I would not be wasting another minute on this character.
Mhm.
Too much damage has been done, bro.
What about Dewdrop?
Way too. And that now, less damage has been done with her. And she is she has a unique look. She looks like a wrestler. Her, I think you could still do something with. She hasn't suffered the damage, I don't think Nikki Sixx has.
Nikki Sixx. I think you've got the wrong entertainment there.
Whatever. Whatever. I can't believe
the wrong era.
Oh, it's 9:30 on Monday night. I'm talking about Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx. Oh man. So you would give Dewdrop a chance?
Yes.
Now, would you make her like a massive heel, a baby face? Like where would
heel.
you
Vince was the one that saw her dancing in the locker room, and then he went totally off course, and here we are.
Would you keep the Dewdrop name, or would she go back to Piper Niven?
Piper Niven.
Okay, gotcha. And you would she like go away for a while and come back and just run roughshod
and put all the heat on Vince when she comes back?
Put all the heat on Vince?
Yep.
And she would like cut promos against Vince McMahon, making her dance.
Yep. Okay. Who's going to cut the first Vince promo? That's what I'm waiting on. CM Punk? Who's going to cut the first promo on Vince? That's what I'm waiting very patiently for that, bro.
CM Punk, did you hear about the AEW scrum?
Oh, I watched it.
You watched the scrum?
One of the greatest things I've ever seen since my birth. Since my birth, bro.
And your boy Tony Khan's making his Tony Khan's facials are just absolutely hilarious.
Let me tell you something. Listen, anybody, Dutch Mantel has a show on Sportskeeda. Dutch can verify this for me. Bro, you could say whatever you want about Dixie Carter. She never, ever, ever lost control of that locker room the way this bozo has lost control. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. You could ask Dutch Mantel, bro.
Man.
People want to talk about Dixie and Rip Dixie. Give me a break.
If you were Tony Khan next to CM Punk during his shoot
and the press conference,
what would you have done?
The press conference.
Told him to stop.
Press conference. Yes. Yeah. This press conference is over. Punk, let's go. And the press conference.
Yeah, he just sat there.
Take control of your freaking company, bro. I said this from day one when he was handing out executive vice presidents to wrestlers with zero experience in manage. Zero experience. And here's the first thing I said, and I learned this my first week on the job. You cannot be friends with the wrestlers. They are not your friends, bro. And Big Swole is talking about smoking pot with Tony Khan, and he's partying with everybody after the shows. The wrestlers are not your friends, bro. Yeah. And now he is learning the hard way, bro. And now it's too late because that's the precedent that you set, bro. Now it's too late.
Man, I just don't have it in me to just look at that. I'm like, man, he just looked like such a pushover, during that. There's no way.
I don't feel sorry. That's the environment he created, bro.
Yeah, just one of the boys.
I don't feel the least bit sorry for him, bro.
Did you see, speaking of the scrub, did you see like after Jericho's part, he's like, yeah, man, you're gonna be, I'll see you, it's like, yeah, we're about to hang out, like, I'm like, what is this that I'm watching, man? And it's like, this is so just weird. And the fact that he was just
the word
like,
you're looking for.
What am I looking for, Vince?
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
what
It
you're
was
looking for.
unprofessional.
That's
Yes.
what you're looking for. The whole company is unprofessional, bro.
Yeah, it was unprofessional.
You know
But I
who I would
think
put
it
in
was
charge of that
something else.
company? You know who I
Who's
would
that?
put in
Who's
charge?
that?
JR. Put JR in charge. Bro, I'm telling
Shivani's got some stroke now.
Giovanni to put them
Yeah.
in charge of that company. Bro, I am telling you, Dixie was negotiating with JR. And I think at the end of the day, Dixie did not like that her parents really liked JR. And I think Dixie was afraid of her losing power, so it never happened. If JR was put in charge of TNA before Hogan and Bischoff came along, bro, I think that company would have still been going strong today if JR had been put in charge of that company.
You think he should be in charge of AEW?
Yes, absolutely, 1,000%.
I don't think so. I don't think he has the stamina and the energy.
Well, he probably doesn't want to do it. Don't get me wrong. He would hear me say that, and I could hear him saying, "Vince, are you out of your freaking mind?"
Yeah.
But bro,
What about Regal?
I don't know him. Here's who you need. Here's who you need, Chris. You need somebody that's not going to take any, what.
Any crap.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
If Regal's that guy, then Regal's that guy.
Yeah, it can't be like, even if Khan's signing the checks. The thing with Khan is like, he wants to sign the checks, but he wants to like be one of the boys too. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the issue is, because like, it's like, dude, if I'm next to Punk and I'm signing your checks, you need to have much more respect for me, and I'm paying your bills,
bro.
Than just saying whatever you want to say in a press conference, and I'm right next to you, and you're representing me now. That's a problem.
Think about that being Vince sitting next to Punk in
exactly.
That's all you have. That's how you have to think about it. It's that simple, bro. Vince would have been sitting there making funny faces.
Right. Exactly. That's a good point. The level of the aura and the level of respect. Now, I've got a lot of, I've criticized Vince's, like big power trip before, but there's still a respect,
right,
that he carries that's honorable in that space. He's not just some pushover that Punk is going to say whatever the heck he wants to say and just, talk about going to biz for himself, talk about EVPs and all the stuff that he talked about, and then said, I mean, people were intimidated by the journalists were intimidated. And even someone said about that,
bro.
I'm like, what?
You know what it is, bro? I'm not going to cuss here, but I'm going to use a term because it's very important to understand this. CM Punk has FU money, bro. And what that means is he'll say what he doesn't. What Tony Khan's going to fire? He doesn't care. He has FU money. He can go out there and say what he wants and know, okay, he's going to fire me and Triple H is going to call me in a month. He is such in the seat that he can do and say whatever he wants to do and say. And let's face it, bro, he has zero respect for Tony Khan to do that with him sitting right next to him. But then you got to ask yourself this too, bro. Let's go back to the start. Why is Tony Khan sitting next to the talent in these scrums? Why is he out there?
Listen, hold on a second. Bro? I said this exact same thing like since day one. Why is he with these guys? Sitting next to
Why are you out there, you mark?
I said the exact same thing to that, man. That's absolutely hilarious, man. And then he's talking about MJF, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter what I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is just too much to just even digest.
Well,
man.
Tony Khan, welcome to the wrestling business, bro. He thought he was going to buy all these action figures and book a show in his little notebook. I'm going to book a show like I did in the second grade. Yeah, good luck with that, bro.
Exactly.
Good luck with that, man.
And you heard that led to a fist fight, right? Backstage. Yeah.
Well,
Man.
don't you hear of EVPs fist fighting in a lot of companies? A Hewlett Packard, I hear they fist fight all the time.
Yeah, they just fist fight.
Amazon, they're going at it in the boardroom. Haven't you heard that before, Chris? Come on.
Yeah, one of the
Get with it, bro.
one of the employees is sitting next to an executive at a press conference, and he's just crapping all over the company that leads to some EVPs
They're
fighting.
They're fighting in the Apple boardroom, bro.
Happens all the time, man. Happens all the time.
Unbelievable. What a great bro. Tell me somebody should make a movie on the origins of AEW. How great would that be?
Talk about a dark side of the ring, man.
Oh my God, incredible.
Yeah. Yikes. Rollin with the 49 super chat, bro. Ironically, Tony Khan is the same age as McMahon when he bought WWF from his father. Khan wants to run it the non-McMahon way, and it's backfiring.
Rollins got great points.
He always does, man.
Every week. Good job, Rollin. Good job, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. Good job. Good point there, Rollin. Theory cuts an in-ring promo, gets interrupted by Kevin Owens.
Bro, can I tell you what's going on here?
What's going on, Vince?
This is Triple H's way of shoving it up Vince McMahon's backside, because this is Triple H's way of saying, everybody that I believed in, everybody that was on my team, you fired. Yeah. Now, this was the guy you believed in. Guess what, bro? Now I'm going to get him knocked out cold on Sunday, doing a job on Monday, because you know how ridiculous this is.
Lost the pre-show at the Castle, too.
Lost at the pre-show. Yeah. Because Triple H is smarter than this, and I'll tell you why, Chris. This is exactly what's going on. Triple H, this was Vince's guy, and now Triple H is turning the tide. Because, Chris, why in God's name are you going to give somebody the Money in the Bank who you're beating every week? The Money in the Bank is supposed to be, this guy is a threat at any time to turn in that case, not a guy that loses every match he has.
It's the precursor to becoming the world champ within a year, and that's the thing. Like it, I was told by some sources that, he's basically making up for some external things that he was involved in, that wasn't WWE related, that was a little edgy and dicey. So it seems as if he's kind of working his way back up to that state. And there's some news that as far as like him retaining the case, and that might not happen. So and to me, it's like, you can tell that this was totally a Vince McMahon move to give him the case. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what is it with Vince McMahon and these like pretty boys? That's causes him to say, "Oh, we'll push him." Okay, yeah, Theory, yeah, let's push him. Let's push Shawn Michaels and Drew McIntyre. Like, what is it about Vince McMahon and these pretty boys that he is like, yeah, just let's shoot a rocket, just strap a rocket on him and let's go, man. What you work with them, man? Why is this pattern going on with Vince McMahon?
Well, bro, that's the funny thing, because Theory was never a babyface.
He wasn't, but he's young though. But he's one of those pretty boys though. What I mean? Like and bro, I don't know. I don't get it.
Vince
man.
has weird idiosyncrasies. He loves bathroom humor.
He does.
He's got weird things about him, bro.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. It just still doesn't. There's still no rhyme or reason why Theory is the chosen one though. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand what about Theory at this stage that Vince McMahon say, yes, within a year I'll make him world champion. It just didn't make sense. And so I'll give Triple H, credit for not making him the guy, feel like the guy any more than what he did, because he didn't. And I'm glad that Triple H isn't saying like, okay, well, let's push him to the moon, because he shouldn't be. And I think he should lose. I think he should lose the case. I mean, if you were to pick one person that he should lose a case to, who should it be?
I mean, give it to Braun now.
Braun, yeah. Now, Braun had it before, and I think he lost it. I think SK Nation, help me out on that. Braun had it, and he cashed it in, and did not successfully cash it in, right? Help me out on that, because I know he won the Universal Championship, and he won it against Goldberg at Mania, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what happened at all, bro, with that.
Yeah. So he lost to Brock, is what someone said. He lost to Brock for the case when he cash in the case. But yeah, if he gets it again, should he be the one to dethrone Reigns though?
No.
So get the case and lose it again.
Yeah, I told you, bro. The one to dethrone the one to dethrone Reigns is not there. He's not there. They got to keep biting.
Well, he came there now. He's here now.
Yeah, but he was already there. He
Gotcha.
was, and there's a history. He was already there. The
Gotcha.
person they need to buy time until that person shows up.
Gotcha. He cashed it in for Hell in a Cell match and it being a no contest with Roman and Hell in a Cell. Okay, so he cashed it in before Roman at Hell in a Cell, and Brock cost him the match. Okay, cool. Someone saying Braun Breaker. Should Braun Breaker be the guy?
No.
Cody Rhodes, another person. Just throw some names out there, SK Nation, as far as who should be the guy who dethrones Roman Reigns. I'm not sold on Cody. I'm not sold on the Cody option. It just doesn't feel right to me as far as just Cody being the one to dethrone. Bray.
Let me tell you something too.
Someone said Bray. What do you think before you go?
You know, bro, I would love it to be Bray, but we were kind of down that road before.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think the person's there, bro. Well, now you're talking. Now you want to throw this name in the ring. Now we're talking, bro.
That's right. The person isn't there because the person who should dethrone Roman Reigns is none other than the Black Scorpion.
Yeah. Now
I think the Black Scorpion should dethrone Roman Reigns.
Now you're talking.
100%. That's the guy right there. 100%. Who else do you think? Anybody else other than Black Scorpion? Montez Ford, someone said.
That's like
they couldn't build a babyface story with them.
That's like the Kofi Kingston choice,
bro. And Kofi Kingston worked though. You didn't like Kofi Kingston?
Just look at Roman. Who's gonna be who's there that you would believe could beat him? Who?
Believable? Bobby Lashley would be my number one guy. That's
damaged goods as well.
You think Lashley's damaged goods?
He beat Lashley, bro.
We've never seen Lashley Roman.
Yeah, bro.
Never seen him.
Bro, for as long as that guy has had the belt, bro, it's.
I wouldn't call Lashley damaged goods. I think that his stock has diminished. I think he's diminished goods. I don't think he's damaged goods though. I think that with the way that they're booking Lashley, it's still strong, but it's like mid-card strong, which I don't like.
Yeah.
But he's still being booked strong. But I think with him, he should be at main event level 100%. I mean, the fans are super behind him. He does the boom, boom, like the fans, if you see the pan, like with the fans, all the fans that he does it to and face it, they do it. So like they're bought into Lashley. It's just that he's not being booked as a top guy, which I have a problem with. And I think that, he's bringing prestige to the U.S. Championship, and I can respect that. But if I had my way, I think that Bobby Lashley should win the Royal Rumble, and we should see Lashley and Reigns at WrestleMania. I would prefer Lashley Reigns over Cody Reigns any day of the week, because to me, Lashley is the guy that's left, that's believable, that we haven't seen, because Drew, they could have done it with Drew this past weekend.
Did I not tell you they weren't? Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you, bro?
You did, yeah. And I think they dropped the ball on that one, though. I do. I think they should have just created that moment, because the thing is, and I was sharing this with someone, it's like when I can't tell you every Hogan match, but I can tell you WrestleMania 3. I can tell you WrestleMania 6. You know what I mean? I can tell you Hogan moments, and they don't book for moments anymore. They book for pops. And I got a really big problem with that because you can't remember every single match from the Young Bucks or the Lucha Brothers. You remember moments, and they don't really book for moments. And to me, if Drew winning would have been a moment that you could have used, but I think they dropped the ball with that one, man. To be honest with you, so yeah, you said he the person's not there. What about Gunta? Gunta, can it be the one that dethrones Roman Reigns?
Bro, I'll tell you, the one where it would really, really mean something, honestly, bro, is The Rock. I mean, if they built
to get the title,
absolutely, bro. This is what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. However long more, maybe going to go with Reigns all the way to WrestleMania. You got to build a good story with Rock. It really has to be personal, family related. It's got to be really, really, really meaty. Then I would have Rock go over WrestleMania LA. Next night, I would have Rock go out, relinquish the belt, then have a big tournament to crown the new champion. But if you know you're going to do that, you're going to start getting the players in place now. Who are going to be the final 8? Who are going to be the final 4? You're starting to get those pieces in place now, and then you do a total reset with somebody else. And if you put Cody in that kind of a tournament environment and he wins it, okay, let's see how Cody does as a babyface champion. But that's what I would do, bro. Anybody else right now, I ain't buying it.
Yeah, I do not want to see Rock Roman for the title. I don't think that needs the belt at all. I think there's a lot of meat on that bone to build as a storyline without the title. Now, if I were to run with your thought there with that, say if Rock wins against Roman, he cuts a promo the next night, in theory cashes the Money in the Bank on him. Would that boost Theory up, or would that just make Rock much lower?
Let me explain something. What's the highest ladder you could get? 20 foot, 50 foot? Are there any construction work?
We saw on AEW.
You could buy 100-foot ladder and let Theory climb that ladder and stand on the top of it, and it's not gonna boost him, bro. Okay, Theory's a mid-carder, bro. He is a mid-carder.
Can anything be done with Vince Russo at the books? Can anything be done to salvage Theory?
Bro, I'm gonna throw another Dutch Mantel at you. He's a good little hand. Okay. He's a good little hand. That's it.
If you had the books and Theory was the guy who Vince told you to push, what would you do? What would you say to Vince, and how would you do it?
I would hold the scrum, and I would cut a promo on Vince.
With Vince next to you.
With Vince sitting right next to me. I would cut a promo. Then I would go in the back, and I would beat up all the executive vice presidents of the company. I'll give myself a round of applause.
Very nice. That's the way to do it.
He's a mid-carder, bro. And that is not an insult. That is not a shot at him, bro. You're a mid-carder. And again, I talk as a casual fan. So I'm not taking into an account, he's a great worker. Yeah. No, bro. I'm talking about a television viewer that sees this guy winning the belt and says, you know what? I don't know, bro. Maybe if I had 10 matches with this guy, I could probably beat him twice.
Speaking of great worker, they had Owens beat Theory, and it seems like they're trying to push Owens up. But what are your thoughts on this as far as Owens seemingly to grow up that ladder as a babyface, which I still don't understand why they turn him. It's like there's no explanation of why Kevin Owens is a good guy right now. I don't get it. Good little worker, Vince. Good worker, Vince. What about Kevin Owens? Should he be at the top of the ladder?
Kevin Owens is a good guy, bro. Like, to me, and I'm cringing saying this. Kevin Owens is a good guy in the Roddy Piper spot. Like I think that's a good. If in 2022, I see Kevin Owens in a Roddy Piper spot.
Okay, give me more substance because that sounds like a stretch to me.
Piper was always going to
Was
be
good.
He was great. He was always going to be over with the people. He was always going to be very entertaining. He was always going to have that match where he was just that close. And he was always going to retain that popularity. Like I said, bro, Owens is not in that league. But when I look at wrestling in 2020, nobody's in the league.
Gotcha.
If we want to go, spot for spot, that's the spot that I think he's in.
Okay, so the Piper spot that he has the adulation of the crowd, I can see that. I see what you're saying. I think it's a stretch because Piper had such a good character. Like
Of course, no doubt, bro, no doubt about it.
I see what you're saying though, as far as holding the palm of the fans and having their. And to me, you saying that it's a sad state of professional wrestling.
Absolutely, it is.
To compare Kevin Owens to Rowdy Piper,
I agree. Absolutely, I agree.
Man, if he's the 2022's version, Owens is a worker. Sure, but at the same time, if he's the modern day Piper, oof, that's a far fall, man. Next, we have Damage Control cutting an in-ring promo interrupted by Bianca Belair. Speaking of star, though, man, Bianca she just oozes star to me.
But again, bro, she's miscasted.
How so?
She's a baby face, and they have her talking like a heel. Bro, the whole street talk and it's the talk to the hand, like.
Gotcha.
and I do think she is a star.
She's a star.
She invests the money in the clothing. I agree with all of that, but I just hate the ghetto street talk. Yeah, I hate that, bro. She doesn't need that, bro.
What do you think? How would you cast Bianca Belair as a character?
Bro, just let her be her. She is a blue
Tennessee track star.
Yeah, bro. She's the Serena Williams of the WWE. She's a bona fide blue chip athlete. Who's going to beat me?
Yeah. Now, is that the edge is it that they don't want her to seem too vanilla and the edge is actually helping her?
If that's what they think, I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah. I don't think it helps.
Yeah, I don't think she should be a heel though. They tried to heel in NXT and it didn't work. I think she should be a lasting babyface character. And I think that she shouldn't. And they said that she hasn't been pinned in over 300 days. That's probably why she feels so like above everybody because she doesn't lose. Which I can respect. I've said that many times. Like big superstars don't lose, or when they do lose, it means something. It's for something. It's in a storyline. And Bayley pinning Bianca, I wasn't a big fan of that, but it seems like they're trying to build Bayley versus Bianca again for the title. Is there any money in that to you, Vince?
Oh God, no.
No. What do you think of Bayley? What's your take on Bayley nowadays?
First of all, I just want to say, like I've said this before. I've seen the real Bianca Belair being herself, being interviewed, and I like that person. I am drawn to that person. Bayley, again, bro, is somebody who is so miscast. Bayley could have been a female John Cena. If they would have booked her correctly, she could have been a female. Now she's trying so hard, bro, to be a heel. It's almost like the nah.
I'm not a fan.
She's trying so hard. And again, bro, they put her in that spot. It's the same thing Becky went through. When you take a baby face and you put them in the spot of a heel, they're gonna go right to the cheap heat every single time, bro. And there's no substance to that, bro.
When she first turned on SmackDown, there was some like it worked for a bit because she was such a baby face for so long. And there was even in interviews that she was on Austin's podcast before, and she was saying that she didn't want to turn. Like there was one time a few years ago that she was about to turn and she was scheduled to turn, and she saw a fan, and then she's like, no, I don't want to turn, because she was like really into her babyface character. And then they gave her that heel role, to try out, and it was weird in the beginning, and it started to get okay, and she started to really get some heat. And I think the shelf life didn't last long though, because it started to get like the ding dong hello thing, that she was doing. It was like, okay, interesting, but not really. You know what I mean? Like it's just, to me, I want. I've said this before. I think Bailey should go back to the ponytail wearing Bailey buddies. But then again, and I'm going to ask you this: do you think that it's damaged goods, and do you think that her returning to that is kind of? Do you think that ship has sailed?
Yes. But I think
What's next for her?
But I think it's better than her being a heel.
Yeah.
I think putting her in that spot is better than what she's doing now. Bro, you're gonna see with Becky. When Becky comes back, you're gonna see Becky was a heel. She was over with the busted nose, the blood all over the face. For whatever reason, we're gonna turn a baby face. I mean, heel. Now we're going to turn a baby face again, and she's not going to be as over as she originally was, bro.
She's going to be babyface when she comes back because of the shaking the hand with, Becky and all that. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that Bailey isn't. I don't think that ship is sold as much as. I don't think Becky's ship is sold as much as Bailey, because people want to get behind Becky Lynch, and I think that the level of babyface won't be as strong as when the nose, the broken nose, and turning against Charlotte, which actually caused her to be more of a babyface. I don't think she'll reach that level yet, but I think she isn't as damaged as Bailey is, because to me Bailey just feels like a there person. You know what I mean? She's just there.
Bailey's heel persona is you're an idiot, you're a moron, this town sucks. I mean that's the persona. Come on, man. Like anybody can do that.
Yes, indeed. Lewis, $5 super chat. How are you feeling, Vince? Much love from Scotland.
That's how I'm feeling right there.
That's how you feeling right there. Very, very very nice, man. Very nice. Next we have Damage Control cuts an in-ring promo. Speaking of Bailey, they cut an in-ring promo interrupted by Bianca Belair. We talked about that already. Johnny Gargano cuts a backstage interview, gets interrupted by Theory. So the big news behind that is Johnny Gargano is coming back to wrestle next week.
Bro, I don't think in my entire history of watching wrestling since, let's be safe, 1971. Okay? I don't think I've ever seen anybody who has looked less of a star than Johnny Gargano. Anybody. Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi. I don't think I have seen anybody who has looked less threatening than Johnny Gargano. I really don't.
Man.
I don't even know who comes close.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler would have killed Johnny Gargano. Would have killed him.
What about
I don't even know, bro. Dwayne Gill?
There you go. What about Gilbert?
Yeah, Dwayne Gill. Yeah.
Gilbert?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it that you don't like about Gargano?
bro, who could he beat up? Like, seriously, I look at the guy like, who can you beat up, bro? Seriously, who can you beat up?
I don't know.
Who, bro? Who are you going to beat up?
I don't know.
First of all, if this were real, why would a guy your size want to become a wrestler when you know you're going to get killed by guys twice your size? Why would you choose that? You know what that's like, bro? That's like, I'm going to become a fireman, but I'm afraid of fires. That literally, bro, that literally is what that's like. I'm going to be a cop, but I'm afraid of guns. I'm not dealing with anything having to do with a gun, but I'm going to be a cop. Come on, bro, stop with this stuff, man. It's an insult to the industry when a casual fan is watching a guy this size in the WWE, because you are sending out a message that anybody could be a professional wrestler.
What about, someone said Max Mini? What about Max Mini?
Oh, well, he was a little person, bro.
Yeah. Does that work? Max Mini though?
Yeah, he was a little person. That's a different category.
Gotcha. Different category. Spike Dudley. What about Spike Dudley? What made Spike Dudley believable?
Bro, I got to be honest with you. Much to what everybody wants to believe, I didn't watch ECW that much, bro. I never really saw Spike Dudley work that much. I never did. And even with Spike Dudley, bro, when Spike Dudley was introduced, wasn't he one of the Dudley family? Wasn't there like 5 or 6 other Dudleys?
A bunch. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
That if Gargano comes in a family, like if Gargano's with the Wyatts, okay, I'll buy that. He's the little crazy brother. I'll buy that. But when you're coming in by yourself as a main eventer, I'm again, bro, I'm a casual fan. I am not buying it.
What made Crash Holly believable?
I think what made him believable, bro, is he was just crazy.
Okay.
He was just crazy. Like he was a 6'9" guy living in a 5'9" body. I think that's what made him
himself as 400 pounds carrying the scale.
And like he honestly believed it. That's not Gargano's gimmick. That's not
you know what?
Gimmick.
Stuff like that, like Scrappy Doo was believable, right? Like he was like, let me at him. He was like, let me at him, right? So I think the Scrappy Doo character has stock to it. You know what I mean? It has believability to it because he like for instance, like to an extent, Butch on SmackDown, Pete Dunne. I'm not a fan of the Butch character because Pete Dunne was like real, like just bruiser weight, just real tough guy, that UK Regal style, hardcore style, brass knuckle type of style. But I think the Scrappy Doo character has some buy-in to it just because of that, the Scrappy Doo type of mentality. And I think that Crash had a Scrappy Doo type of mentality. And I think that's what made it believable. You can't say that with Gargano, though. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing with Gargano. I'm trying to give Gargano a chance as far as the main roster. I'm open to see what they'll do with Gargano personally. But what I don't want to see is I don't want to see Triple H expecting Gargano to come up to the main roster and have like good matches and expect the wider crowd to be bought into Gargano.
I think that's exactly what he's expecting.
And I think he's gonna do that, unfortunately. Yeah,
I do too.
Indeed. Lewis, back on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Miz didn't want to face Lashley last week, but wanted to face him in a cage this week. Good point. The inconsistencies are limitless, or should I say, like Bearcat Lee, limitless.
There was a huge inconsistency as well, bro. Please, maybe I didn't listen every word. When they did the Riddle and the Rollins thing, did they bring up at all what pissed Riddle off last week? Did they bring up the wife?
Yeah, they brought up the wife and kids. Yeah,
this week they did.
they did. Yeah, they did a I mean, they just did like the backstage.
But they did it. No, did they bring it up in the new footage that we saw?
I didn't see any new footage.
When Rollins was wearing those crazy glasses and the
it was after the match that they had. They were just the footage. That footage was after, that was in Wales. That was after.
Okay, but was that brought up at all?
No. So they interviewed Riddle backstage, and Riddle wanted another match.
Okay, but
they interviewed Seth, and Seth said no.
But they never brought up anything with the wife and the kids. That was said the week before.
Not after the match, no.
Oh, that's
Seth. I mean, because logically, Seth, he doesn't care to say that anymore because he beat Riddle, so he's like, I don't care about Riddle anymore. So, and I can see the logic behind that. So Seth's like, no, I'm not going to get you a match no more. I got under your skin and I beat you, and I'm done with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that makes sense. Damian Priest beats Rey Mysterio. Back to my things that I was talking about. Back to my point I was talking about at the beginning. Like, Vince, why do you think this was even? Do you think we should have allowed the first segment to breathe more instead of just placing another Judgment Day Mysterio style match on the card? Should we have let that segment breathe instead of just booking Mysterio and Priest?
This whole show, that angle should have revolved around Rey is going to confront his son.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the whole story should have been around. Rey is going to confront Dominik. That should have been the build. Then from there, you can go wherever you want, but that should have been the hook to that story.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think this match plugging in on this was not good. I think you should have allowed that segment to breathe more. You should have developed it more. I don't see why you need wrestling matches to just be there.
With you.
I don't understand that.
I agree 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah, I would have much rather saw a segment to develop that feud much more than just a simple Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest match. I don't think they really added anything to the story. I wasn't a fan of that. Bobby Lashley defeating the Miz at the end with Loomis staring the Miz, and you mentioned the swerve, but he put the silencer, he put his finish on him, and did the gimmick at the end.
What was the finish? What is that finish leading up to the choke?
What do you mean?
What does he do before he chokes him out?
He just puts him in a trap. It's called the silencer, and then
but that's nothing.
They pass out.
He could have not had that clinched on. They could have been working.
It could have been, but that's typical. I mean, that's his finisher. I mean, he does it with everybody else.
Bro, he I swear to God, I had to pop huge because first of all, they missed an unbelievable. I thought for sure. I don't remember the last time they did this. I thought for sure the guy was coming through the ring, which would have been
I thought he was going to come through the ring too.
A million times more effective. But bro, I had to laugh at this because I don't know if you realize this or not. So Loomis starts going up the cage.
Yep.
The announcers are saying, where is security? Why isn't the locker room emptying? The announcers were saying that.
Yes, they were.
It's almost like the announcers were feeling the same thing we are. Like, okay, bro, like, so security's just, and they're calling it because they don't want to look like morons because they're saying, where is security? Yeah. And I'm saying, great question, bro. Like, where is security?
Yep.
I can't, like I said, bro, wrestling fans don't care. I can't take the holes. I can't take the holes.
Yeah. I'm just being able to thread the needle throughout the story. To me, it's episodic television. I say this every single week. I do not want to be responsible for connecting the dots. You're supposed to be connecting the dots for me. Yes. And then at the very end, there's a connection that's not there. And I have to wait the next week to continue the connection. And not like, okay, this piece is, and that's not connected. And hold on, wait, let me connect it. No, that's too much. That's too much for me as a viewer. That's not my responsibility to do. So that's the reason why I'm like, these nuances matter. And the fact that you're starting stuff, dropping stuff, just throwing matches here, I'm like, no, man, that's too much. And I say this all the time. You have 3 hours a week, 12 hours a month to develop really good stories. There's no excuse to me, man. There's just no excuse. So, Vince, let them know about the brand, my man.
Channelattitude.com. And also, bro, tomorrow on Patreon, man, patreon.com/Russo TWC. I do a watch along with the scrum. I watch along the scrum.
Very nice.
And I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm seeing it for the absolute first time, guys. I am telling you, it is worth the price of admission. Patreon.com/Vince TWC.
That's gonna be good, man. That's gonna be good. That scrum was everything you dreamed not to to see and more, ladies and gentlemen. So man, you plug your stuff a lot, man. I'm the anchor of the show, and I don't plug my stuff enough. So
do it, bro. Do it.
Yeah, man. I suck at plugging myself, man. So follow me at Chris Prolific down there. Also tomorrow I'm having D. Brian Kendrick on the show for Unscripted.
I'm a big fan of Brian.
Yeah. So he'll be on the Unscripted show I have every Tuesday, the Wrestler Q&A. And then right after that, I have Pancakes and Power Slams that's been running for 10 years now. You've been on the show a bunch of times on Pancakes and Power Slam show, including the 10-year anniversary with Magon TA. That was super fun back in April.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Fun, man. So yeah, go check out Pancakes Power Slams. There's some information about Bray Wyatt that I'm going to share as far as some stuff that I heard. I released some exclusive information, and then I heard some stuff tonight actually during Raw. I was given some things from a source about why that didn't happen. So go check that out on the Pancakes and Power Slams tomorrow. Every Tuesday, 11:40. Go sub to Pancakes and Power Slams on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. This is the Legion of Raw. Solo!